everybody, Miss Roberts here for day 2 of Ghost Town at Sundown. And we are on to chapters 3 and 4. We're trying to find the mysterious piano noise that we just heard. Oh, I'm getting too far ahead of myself. There's chapter 3. Player piano. Outside, the sad tune played on. It's coming from there, said Annie. She crept towards a building that had a sign on the sign with the word hotel on it. Jack limped after her. Annie slowly pushed open the swinging door. They peeked inside. The fading daylight lit a piano in the corner of the room. The keys were moving up and down, but no one was there. Ooh. Yikes, whispered Annie. A ghost playing piano. Suddenly, the keys were still. The air got very cold. No way, said Jack. There's no such thing as a ghost. We saw one in ancient Egypt, whispered Annie. Yeah, but that was in ancient Egypt, said Jack. Even so, his heart rate raced. I'll look it up. Jack pulled out the Wild West book. He found a picture of the piano. He read aloud. Player pianos were popular in the Old West. The piano played automatically when someone pumped its floor pedal. Later, with the help of electricity, the piano played all by itself. Whew! Jack closed his book. I knew there was an answer, he said. It must be electric, and somehow it came on. I didn't know they had electricity in the Wild West, said Annie. They didn't, said Jack. He looked at Annie. Oh, man, let's get out of here, he said. Jack is always our worrier. Jack and Annie backed out of the hotel. When they got outside, they heard another sound, horse hooves thumping against the ground. A cloud of dust seemed to be moving towards the town. As it got closer, Jack saw 3 riders. They were herding a small band of horses. Hide, Jack said. Where? Said Annie. Jack looked around wildly. He saw 2 barrels outside of the hotel. There, he said. Jack and Annie hurried into the empty barrels. Jack climbed inside one and tried to scrunch down. His hat wouldn't fit. He jumped out of the barrel, threw his hat into the hotel. Mine too, said Annie. Jack grabbed hers and threw it. Then he scrambled back into the barrel, just in time. Jack heard the horses thunder into town. He peeked through the crack in the barrel and saw a blur of cowboys and horses go by. Whoa, men shouted. Jack heard the horses come to a halt. They stamped and snorted. All he could see were shadows through the crack. Dust covered Jack. He had to sneeze. He pinched his nose. The creek bed must have dried up, a cowboy yelled. This town's a ghost. Yep, it gives me the shivers, said another. Let's camp over the rise. Jack really had to sneeze now. He pinched his nose tighter, but he couldn't stop the sneeze. He let out a choked achoo. What was that? Someone said. Just then, a loud whinny split the air. Jack saw a beautiful horse rear up. She had no rider or saddle, just a rope around her neck. She was as red as the sunset. She had a wild black mane and a white star above her eyes. We can't keep fighting this one, boss, a cowboy yelled. Yep, she wants her colt. Another said, we shouldn't have left him behind. Oh, sorry, it's not shouldn't have. Yeah, it is. Oh. We shouldn't have left him behind. He was too slow, a growly voice said. We'll sell her when we cross the border. That's terrible, thought Jack. He knew Annie must be upset too. He just hoped that she wouldn't jump out of the barrel. But the cowboys pulled the red horse away. The ground rang from the pounding of the hooves as they galloped off. Jack and Annie stood up. They watched the riders disappear into the dust. The pounding faded away. All was quiet again, except for the lazy buzzing of the flies. They were mean to that horse, Annie said in a low, angry voice. I know, but there's nothing we could do, said Jack. His boots were killing him. He climbed out of the barrel. Man, I have to get these off, he said. Jack sat down on the porch of the hotel and grabbed a foot of one boot and pulled. Jack, said Annie. I think there is something we can do. What? Jack looked up. A small horse was running down the road. He was as red as the wild mother horse. He had the same black mane and a white star above his eyes. The rope around his neck. A rope was around his neck. He looked very lost. Chapter 4. Hands up. Oh, goodness. Interesting. It's the colt, said Annie. He's looking for his mother. She ran towards the wild-eyed little horse. Wait, called Jack. Oh, brother. He pulled the book out of his pack. He found a chapter titled Horses of the Wild West. He started reading. At the end of the 1800s, over 1 million wild horses called mustangs wandered the West. Though these tough, fast horses were descendants of runaway Spanish horses. Mustang herders captured them and sold them to ranchers. Breaking a wild Mustang took great skill. Jack turned the page. There was a picture of a herd of horses. 2 of them even looked like the beautiful mare and her colt. Hey, Annie, Jack called. You should see this picture. Annie didn't answer. Jack looked up. Annie was trying to get close to the young Mustang, but he kept darting away. It's almost like when you see like a bunny, which we shouldn't touch bunnies because then they can't go back with their families. Watch it, he's wild, said Jack. Annie was speaking softly to the colt. She slowly reached out and grabbed the end of the rope. Still talking to him, she led him to a broad wooden post. Stop, don't do anything, said Jack. He flipped the pages of the book and he found the section on how to treat a horse. The basic rules of how to treat a horse are simple. A soft hand, a firm voice, a sunny attitude, praise and reward. I've got rules, shouted Jack. Don't do anything before I write them down. Jack pulled out his notebook and pencil and he wrote horse rules. Soft hand, firm voice, sunny attitude, praise, reward. Okay, listen. Jack looked up, but Annie was already sitting on the colt's back. Jack froze. He held his breath. The Mustang whinnied and pawed at the ground. He snorted and tossed his hair. Annie kept patting his neck and talking softly. Finally, the young horse grew still. Annie smiled at Jack. I named him Sunset, she said. Jack let out his breath. Let go, said Annie. Oh, sorry, not let go. Let's go, said Annie. We have to take him to his mom. Are you nuts, said Jack. We have to solve our riddle. It'll be dark soon. And those guys were really bad guys. I could tell. We don't have any choice, said Annie. Oh, brother, Jack knew she wouldn't change her mind. Let's see what the book says. He read more about Mustangs. Wild Mustangs live together in families. The bond between the mare and her young is very strong. His sounds of distress and or hunger will always bring her to him. A Mustang cannot bear to wander alone. Jack groaned. He looked at Sunset. The young Mustang did have a sad look in his eyes. Okay, we'll make a plan, he said. But first I have to get out of these boots. Jack grabbed one of his boots and pulled. Hurry, said Annie. I can't even think in these things, said Jack. He huffed and he puffed and he pulled. Then a deep voice stopped him cold. Hands up or I'll shoot. Jack let go of his boot. He raised his hands in the air. So did Annie. A cowboy rode out of the alley. His face was bony and tanned. He was riding a gray horse and pointed a 6-shooter. I reckon you're the smallest horse thieves I've ever come across, he said. And we'll learn more about him in Chapter 5. I hope you have a wonderful Tuesday for those 2nd and 3rd graders. Hopefully today I'll see you at Kolb. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.